Hey everyone, Matron here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 commentary, this time a game between Morrow spawning as the red Zerg, and his opponent Root Kiwikaki spawning as the blue Protoss. We will be on Lost Temple for this matchup, and really looking forward to this one. Both of these players, top of tier players. Kiwikaki with his ingenious creative play, never brings the same build twice, and Morrow, after swapping over from Terran, has developed a very strong macro Zerg style, and I really like the way that he spreads creep, controls the map, counterattacks when his opponent is weak, and really just sort of plays defensively. Like Idris says, you hardly ever want to be going on the offensive as Zerg, and you just sort of wait until your opponent comes into the creep, comes into your nest, into your lair. You defend hard against the attack, and then just take advantage of the Zerg speed and the Zerg macro and counterattack, and just destroy your opponent. Now these two did meet in the SC Reddit Invitationals. They had some great games, so I'm looking forward, after following those games, to this one. This was a ladder match which just happened recently. As you see, the two ladder colors, red and blue, and it looks like Kiwikaki going to be finding Morrow. Morrow giving away his position with the Overlord just a bit there, so Kiwikaki going right for the northern base, and he's going to find that just gas is up right now, and Morrow has no pool, he's got no hatchery, so it'll be interested to see what he goes for first here. With these starting positions, the map could really open up for both players, and they could get into a bit of a macro game. When you have these northern and eastern starting positions, players tend to sort of stay on their side of the map. The Zerg wants to take the northern and western bases, the Protoss wants to take the eastern and southern bases, and those watchtowers can become very important in the center, providing line of sight towards your opponent and making sure that you know exactly when they're coming for an attack. So it looks like we're going to have pool first for Morrow, and Kiwikaki's going to be camping right under this Overlord. So he's got a good view there of the underside of whatever's under an Overlord there. Just some legs and probably bug bits. But it looks like he is now going to be perhaps coming down to this watchtower, and he's not going to see this expansion here, so he's going to kind of wonder what Morrow's going for. Again, Morrow likes to go for the fast expand. He really wants to macro up on as many bases as his opponent will allow him, but right now it looks like he is going for speed. He got that gas up, got exactly 100 gas, and went and got the metabolic boost right away. And now it looks like Kiwikaki perhaps scatting these other starting locations, making sure another hatchery didn't go up in either the western or the western starting position. Kiwikaki back home has his zealot up, created this wall, and he's working on his warp gate tech. He's got no other buildings right now, not even getting up a second gas. A lot of times we see a second gas around this time for a Protoss, as they do want to work on that sentry count early on in the game, really try to control the early PvZ action with those force fields. They're quite good against both roaches and zerglings alike. Now we see Morrow just trying his hand, taking down this gateway, but Kiwikaki going to be able to put a stop to that shortly once this Stalker does come out. And Morrow just now getting up his hatchery, about halfway complete, so went for that Zergling speed first. He's cleaned both the watchtowers, so he's got great vision. He also has an Overlord on the high ground over top of Kiwikaki's natural. So once Kiwi does expand, Morrow's going to know about it right away. Kiwi adding a second and third gate, so it looks like he's going for some sort of 3-gate play. Might be going for a 3-gate robo. He's also been using Stargates quite effectively recently. And it looks like Morrow getting up that second queen and putting her right in position here. He likes to get up a third queen very early and just start spreading creep. A lot of times he'll have 5 to 7 active tumors going, and it looks like with these Zerglings he's just patrolling, attack moving all over the place. He wants to make sure if there is any proxy play, he's going to be able to catch it. So these Zerglings finally ending up right outside the base of Kiwikaki, and it looks like Kiwi throwing down a fast Nexus here. So going for a 3-gate expand, so he's just now getting warp gate, and he's got one of each unit, and now warping in a few more sentries. So again, going to try to control the flow of the game in the early going with these sentries and the force fields, which are just so powerful. So Morrow, it looks like, does have out this third queen and begins to spread this creep. And this creep is just going to be the lifeblood of the Zerg player. He wants to try to make all of his units move a lot faster. They can get into better attack concaves much quicker. He can retreat, he can counterattack, as you see him putting down a second active tumor. And this number of active tumors will grow and grow as the game does progress. Kiwi moving out, trying to take his watchtower. Not sure he's going to be able to take on all 4 of these Zerglings. Morrow doing a nice job anytime a Zergling gets low of pulling it back and re-engaging. So you see that Zealot picked up a number of different targets, all of these Zerglings very low, and that's just the little type of micro which happens between 2 players of this caliber that really puts them far and away above the rest of the competition. Now it looks like Kiwikaki preparing some sort of wall here to protect this expansion, as he has transferred a number of probes. It is 39 harvesters to 37. If we check the army count though, it is 875 to 225. Morrow does not have much army at all, just trying to spread this creep with that queen there, and Kiwikaki will be pushing in with a number of stalkers. Looks like they are seeing the back end of these creep tumors as they do burrow and get cloaked there. So now pushing up and going to try to force his opponent to create some defense here. Looks like we have 6 roaches and 14 Zerglings on the way for Morrow. Kiwikaki may try to get a force field on the ramp, though Morrow doing a nice job with all of his units down below, keeping those queens at the front of the line as well. Could get a transfuse on one of these spine crawlers, and it looks like Kiwikaki thinking better of it and now just pulling back. But one thing that did do is it forced a lot of offensive units, or a lot of attacking units in general, from Morrow. So all those Zerglings and Roaches could have been drones. So Kiwikaki taking a small victory there and forcing his opponent to create an army rather than just continue to macro up. Now we see the creep continue to be spread here. Morrow going to put those units to work on the destructible rocks. So he's going to be preparing for a quick third here. We do have a proxy pylon going on the west side by Kiwikaki, so once Morrow does take a 4th, he can get some units down here, warp them in. And let's check back the build of Kiwikaki. It looks like he is getting up both a Stargate and a robotics facility at the same time, so opening up a lot of different tech paths for himself. He getting up a 4th gateway as well. So it looks like we have an Observer and a Void Ray on the way, both of which will be Chrono Boost. Again, the Observers costing 25 and 75 now. So you can really litter the field with those Observers, put them at all the important choke points of the map, and all the different routes that the Zerg player can attack you. It looks like Morrow has a patrolling Zergling along the southern edge of the map, so he's going to be able to see right away when Kiwikaki does try to push out for a 4th. Using this Overlord, he can quickly duck down here and see when the 3rd is going to be established as well, as it looks like he is about halfway done his gold hatchery. And now just pushing out, and again, look at all the active tumors. It looks like about 7, 8 active tumors at this point. So just going to use this queen constantly, every 25 energy, placing down a new tumor, and it's going to try to spread it across the field as quickly as possible. Looks like Kiwikaki does have out this Void Ray, and also working on a mothership, so holy crap. So we have a 11 minute 20 second mothership. So wow, that's a very fast mothership coming from Kiwikaki. Hardly has any other army, only 1,600 minerals. A lot of times we see mothership towards the end of the game, about the 20-minute mark, once both players have very large armies, as Kiwikaki going to shred through those active creep tumors, as he does have this Observer on the field, so he's going to try to take down as many tumors as he can. Just the queen right now for anti-air for Morrow. So the Void Ray going to be able to dance around, and it looks like now adding a few Hydralisks as well. So this Void Ray going to do its best to kill off these creep tumors best that he can. And now having some Stalkers adding into the mix as well. The Sentries, all full energy, so that's 3 Sentries. That's going to be 12 force fields he can place down. Going to be very important against these Roaches and Hydras. They're going to want to get into a, looks like we have Morrow scooping in here with this Overseer. I'm not sure if he saw this fleet beacon though. It looks like he did not, so he just saw the gates. But if he's paying attention, he's going to know that he saw the light coming out of this Nexus and the Chrono Boost on it. And there's the mothership lagging up pretty much everything when it does pop out. So now Kiwi, I imagine he's going to be using this mothership the same way that he usually does, and that's more of a defensive mothership. He likes to use the mass recall. He's going to get his offensive units backed into a corner, try to kind of go all in, and where it's going to look like an all-in, going to do massive amounts of damage, and then he's able to mass recall, and the Zerg players, they just never suspect it. So it looks like those Zerglings might have caught a glimpse of the mothership, and it looks like we have the proxy pylon may come into play as well as this hatchery going down. It looks like a 5th hatchery going down also for Morrow. So trying to macro up, his opponent leaving him be, and he is going to take advantage of that in macro. We have some nice force fields there, trying to stem the flow of these Hydras and Roaches. Very nice force fields now. So he's going to be able to take on these Zerglings and these Corruptors apart from those Roaches and Hydras. So using very small number of units is Kiwikaki right now. Really needs to get a number of warp ins. Looks like he's got Stalkers at home warping in as well. And these Stalkers will have Blink. So I have seen him use Blink quite effectively in this PvZ matchup. Looks like this Mothership going to swoop in here, cloak all these units, and no Overseer in position. So using that Blink, taking out a Corruptor or two. Again, the Zergling's still on patrol down south. So both players trying to get as much information as they can and check out the creep spread. Even though a few of those tumors were taken down, they were replaced, or at least a few are still active. So Kiwikaki going to have to deal with that creep at some point here. Does have the Observer and the Void Ray, and the Mothership as well. It has enough energy for a mass recall, and it looks like he will be trying to use this 3rd expansion here with these photon cannons as his home base where he mass recalls his units. And now we'll be moving up, perhaps trying to go into the main. He does have both the Observer and the Void Ray providing high ground sight, so he can blink up here, and he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. He can go right for the lair if he chooses. He can go for the Spire or the Hydralisk Den. It looks like he will be going right for the lair, and this could spell trouble for Morrow. If you take down the lair of a Zerg player, it's going to be a while before they can get any of their tech back up. Now he's going to start focusing down that Spire, so the Spire will go down. He might be able to get the Hydralisk Den. No, he's going to get the mass recall right away, and it looks at the same time he had a number of Zealots warping in, and they were going for this western base from Morrow, this 4th base, and they're just going to work on this hatchery, try to deny these drones a place to bring their minerals, and this hatchery will go down, and now these Zealots will be able to take on or be taken down by all the forces of Morrow.